I'm going to be giving you the ultimate Fishstrap settings guide for Roblox. This is going to boost FPS, fix lag, and give you better ping. Now, my videos will work for all these people you can see right here, so make sure to watch to the end to not miss anything. Getting straight into this, starting off in the Bootstrapper tab, you want to make sure that background updates are turned off. Of course, if updates are running in the background, it's using CPU or system resources in general. You know, it could also be GPU. And not only that, it's utilizing your internet connection. Yes, that's your network driver that is just being pinged, and it's going to affect your ping and performance generally. So yeah, have that off. Just update yourself. Go in there, do it manually. Going down to cleaner right here, what it does is it removes old data and saves space, which can definitely improve performance. So what I do is I have this set to every month. You don't need it to happen that often. I recommend getting rid of literally everything. Fishstrap logs, and cache. So turn these all on. Moving down to deployment. This I'll keep on. It's a little bit different. It doesn't run in the background, but it will update Fishstrap when you launch your game. So make sure to wait a second when launching just to make sure that it's not doing an update. Or usually the updates are literally just adding things like fixing bugs, or maybe they're performance fixes. So they tend to be beneficial. I recommend having this on. Now moving down to mods. This is where it starts getting juicy. I recommend having as little mods as possible. The more mods you have, the more your game has to run, which is in turn going to give you worse performance and lower FPS. These things are basically subjective. They're totally up to you if you want to use them. And for the most part, they won't affect your frames. So yeah, you can use the old, I can't really do it. I've just butchered that. You can use the old mouse cursors. It really does not matter. Now on to fast flags. I think this is actually where it gets juicy. If you want the best fast flags, I've made a whole video on that. Watch that at the end of this video. But I'm going to show you how to pretty much change everything here anyway. But yeah, you can join my Discord server for the ultimate fast flags. All right, listen up, guys. You know how much I've spent on my Roblox account, and I know how much you hate dealing with overpriced game currency and sketchy exchanges. We've all had our fair share of horror stories, but I finally found the site I can trust. It's called Eldorado. Eldorado has completely changed the game for me. Every transaction on here is secure, so there's zero stress about being scammed. Plus, they have something called Eldorado Trade Shield Protection, which means they've got your back every step of the way. I know we all want the best currency rates, and with Eldorado, I get my game currency fast, like in just a few minutes fast. They seriously have some of the lowest prices I've seen, and I'm saving a ton compared to other places. And when it comes to in-game cosmetics, same deal. They've got everything you need to deck out your locker. And I'm not the only one talking about this. Check out these Trustpilot reviews. Thousands of gamers just like me are giving Eldorado top marks. It's legit. Their support team online 24/7. If you ever need help, it could be 3 a.m. They're ready to answer any questions, and they've got a money back guarantee, so it's pretty much risk-free. Either you get your order or you get your money back. Simple as that. So if you're tired of overpriced game currency and want a trustworthy place to safely exchange in-game cosmetics, check out eldorado.gg with a link in the description. And you can use code FETCH at checkout for an exclusive discount only for you guys. You want to make sure this right here, allow Fishstrap to manage fast flags, is enabled. If you've ever changed anything in here previously, I recommend just resetting them to the default so you can just follow from this video. But you want to, in presets, you want to disable Roblox telemetry. Under rendering graphics, anti-aliasing quality. If you have a mid-tier PC, automatic isn't too bad, but you'll get the best frames on 1. So yeah, if you have a low-end PC, definitely set this to 1. And if you have a high-end PC, I don't care, do not go above 2. Disable player shadows, having this on is going to help a lot. Disable post-processing effects, have that one on. Disable terrain textures. If you have a really low-end PC, definitely have this one on. Frame rate limit, I recommend keeping this as it is and just changing your frame rate limit within Roblox. And if you have a cap, I've made a separate video on how to uncap your Roblox FPS, and that tends to be a little bit more effective than this, because I've heard people say that they'll change and put a cap in here and it won't translate to the game. Roblox, you know, really doesn't want you to have maximum FPS. They want to cap you for some reason. So yeah. Preferred lighting technology, I just keep mine on chosen by game. Preserve rendering quality with display scaling, keep that one turned off. Rendering mode, automatic should be good for everyone. Preferred graphics card, you want to select your graphics card. So definitely not the Microsoft basic render driver. Set whatever your actual GPU is. If you don't know, I'm sure most of you do. You can go into your task manager, go to performance, go to GPU, and it will literally say at the top right here. Texture quality now, for very, very high-end PCs, you could probably go with automatic. But against one of them, I wouldn't ideally go above level 2. If you have a low-end system, go with level 1. And if you have a very, very potato office trash PC, go with the lowest, which is level 0. User interface and layout. People actually don't think this has a effect, but of course, the less things you have on your GUI and your user interface in general is going to be less things for your GPU to have to render. So if you can disable things like a full screen title bar, or you can hide your GUI as much as possible, or even lower the font size, I don't think you'd want to go above 1, or sorry, below 1. This can have a little bit of an effect, not much. Roblox menu, so much of this you don't need. For example, VR toggle, you probably don't need that. Feedback button, you probably don't need that. These are things that are showing visually on the screen and your GPU has to render. So turn off as much of them as possible. Chat translation, you probably don't need that. Language selector, you also probably don't need that. And frame rate cap, this is dependent if you want to see it on screen, but again, you don't really need it. Debug, do not worry about this one. And going down to appearance, most of this, everything here is subjective. So none of this is going to affect your frames. And shortcuts, again, these are quality of life things. None of these are going to affect your performance.